I still remember the day I lost him as if it were yesterday. The sunlight streamed through the kitchen window, warm and golden, and I watched him sip his coffee, smiling at some private joke I couldn't hear. If this story touched your heart, don't let it end here. Subscribe for more real stories that stay with you long after the screen goes dark. Life felt ordinary, comforting even, like it always had, until the phone rang, shattering that quiet happiness. I didn't answer at first. A part of me had a vague premonition, a cold whisper that something was wrong. But then the voice on the other end confirmed it. There had been an accident. A car crash. My husband, gone. Just like that, my world tilted, spilling over into chaos I could neither comprehend nor control. The days that followed were a blur of grief and numbness. Friends came, hugged me, whispered condolences, and yet their words felt hollow, distant, like echoes from someone else's life. I walked through our home, touching his side of the bed, his jacket hanging by the door, and everything smelled faintly of him. It was as if the walls themselves were trying to hold on to him for me. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, and every time I closed my eyes, I imagined the accident over and over, wishing with desperate, impossible hope that it had been a mistake, that I would wake up and he would be there, laughing, brushing his fingers through my hair. Weeks passed, then months. I tried to return to some semblance of normal life, but it was hollow. The laughter of others grated against the raw edges of my heart. I found myself wandering to the places we had loved, the park where we had picnics, the little cafe where he insisted on ordering dessert even when I protested, the riverbank where we had once sat and talked about our dreams. Everywhere I went, the memory of him lingered, and everywhere I went, I felt his absence like a wound that refused to close. Then, one evening, nearly a year after he had died, I found myself alone in the living room, scrolling aimlessly through the radio app on my phone. I stopped at a local station, a soft acoustic song playing. And then I heard it, his voice. Not in my head, not in a memory, but through the speakers, as if he were standing in the room. At first I thought it was a mistake, a recording of something old, but the way he spoke, the tenderness, the unmistakable lilt of his laugh, it was him. He was reading a story, something sentimental, but with his signature pauses, the ones I used to tease him about. Tears blurred my vision as I sank to the floor, phone still in hand, barely daring to breathe. I listened for what felt like hours, every word, every inflection, searing into my heart. Somehow I knew he wasn't really gone, not entirely. I didn't understand it, but I felt him. He was speaking to me through the radio, reaching across a boundary I had thought unbreakable, letting me know he was still with me in some way, still watching over me, still caring about my pain. From that day on, the radio became a lifeline. Every evening I would sit quietly, letting his voice fill the empty spaces in the house, guiding me, comforting me. Slowly I started to heal, not completely, never completely, but enough to remember the joy without drowning in sorrow. I learned to live with the ache, carrying him with me rather than trying to push the memory away. I began to smile again, to step outside, to breathe without feeling as if the world had ended. And in those quiet moments, when the radio crackled softly in the background, I knew he was still there, whispering the things we never said, sharing the small, beautiful moments of life with me, as if death itself had never been able to take him entirely. Sometimes, late at night, I swear I can hear him even without the radio, just a sigh, a laugh, a fleeting word, but I no longer panic. I have learned that love, real love, does not end with death. It lingers in the way the sunlight hits the kitchen floor, in the rustle of the trees, in the quiet spaces between heartbeats. And as I go about my days, living and grieving and remembering, I carry him with me, not as a shadow of loss, but as a voice that never truly left, a reminder that the people we love never really go away. Some stories end, but their lessons live forever. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.